Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the absolutely incredible story of Pompeii. We're talking about an entire, thriving, ancient Roman city that was quite literally frozen in time by a catastrophic volcanic eruption. We're going to explore its rise, its sudden and terrifying destruction, and honestly, the completely remarkable rediscovery of a place that was just swallowed by the earth for nearly 1,700 years.
I want you to imagine something for a second. You wake up, it's a totally normal morning, you're heading out to the market, maybe opening up your shop, grabbing a quick bite to eat, you're just doing your thing, completely unaware that within a matter of hours, your entire city is going to vanish beneath a massive mountain of volcanic ash. I mean, it sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, right? But for the ancient citizens of Pompeii, this was a terrifying reality.
Section 1. A bustling Roman city. To really understand the scale of this tragedy, we have to look at what Pompeii was like before the disaster. We're talking about an estimated 10 to 20,000 people. That is a massive amount of folks living their daily lives right smack in the danger zone. Now, Pompeii was actually founded centuries before the Roman Empire was even a thing, and it grew into one of Rome's absolute busiest, most prosperous trading centers, right there near the gorgeous Bay of Naples. But here's the wild part. This huge population was completely oblivious to the fact that the big mountain looming over them, Mount Vesuvius, was actually a very active volcano. They just didn't know.
And this wasn't just some sleepy little village. Daily life here was incredibly advanced. The city was absolutely packed with shops, busy restaurants, public bathhouses, big feeders, you name it. The wealthy residents lived in these incredibly luxurious villas, fully decked out with colorful frescoes and intricate mosaics. And the real irony here? The very thing that would eventually destroy them, the volcano, is exactly what made them so rich in the first place. That super fertile volcanic soil meant they had flourishing vineyards and highly productive farms. It was such a vibrant, colorful place, which just makes the impending darkness that much more heartbreaking.
Section 2. The ignored warning signs. Now, the Earth actually gave them warnings, lots of them, but the people simply didn't know how to read the signals. Back in AD 62, a massive, powerful earthquake severely damaged a bunch of buildings in Pompeii. They dusted themselves off and began to rebuild. But over the next 17 years or so, leading up to AD 79, continuous smaller earthquakes just kept rumbling right beneath their feet. And the residents? They just thought these tremors were normal, just an everyday quirk of living there. They had absolutely no clue these were clear, flashing red warning signs of increasing volcanic activity bubbling up underground. Life just went on as usual, right up until August 24th, AD 79, when Mount Vesuvius finally erupted, and that triggered centuries of total silence until the city was dug up in the 18th century.
Section 3. The sky turns dark.
So, on that fateful day, Mount Vesuvius suddenly shoots this absolutely massive column of rock fragments, volcanic gas, and ash miles high into the sky. Within hours, dark clouds completely swallow the region, and ash starts falling onto Pompeii, literally like a heavy gray snowstorm. Imagine the suffocating darkness and just the utter confusion. At first, a lot of people actually just hunkered down in their homes, probably assuming the storm would blow over like any other. But the ash didn't stop. It just kept piling up, heavier and heavier, to the point where roofs actually began collapsing under the immense weight, and the streets outside became completely impassable. That's when the real panic set in, as families desperately scrambled to find a way out.
Section 4. The deadly pyroclastic flows.
Okay, so this is crucial. To really grasp what wiped out Pompeii and nearby towns like Herculaneum, we need a quick look at the science. The greatest danger wasn't actually the falling ash, as bad as that was. It was the pyroclastic flows. Basically, these are fast-moving clouds of extremely hot gas, ash, and volcanic debris. And these deadly surges didn't just drift down the mountain, they raced down the slopes of Vesuvius at terrifying speeds. When these superheated, massive clouds hit Pompeii, they overwhelmed absolutely everything in their path. Buildings were instantly buried, entire streets just disappeared. The whole city was flash-sealed under several meters of material in the blink of an eye.
Section 5. The remarkable rediscovery. So after all that, Pompeii was abandoned, completely forgotten for about 1,700 years. That is, until some workers in the 18th century made a stunning accidental discovery. As researchers started systematically digging out these remarkably preserved houses, they came up with what is arguably one of the most brilliant and, honestly, heartbreaking archaeological techniques ever invented. They noticed these empty cavities in the hardened ash, left behind where victims' bodies had decomposed over the centuries. So they started pouring liquid plaster directly into those empty spaces. Once the plaster hardened, they chipped away the surrounding ash, and what was left? A perfect physical cast of a person's final position at the exact moment the disaster overtook them.
Seeing these casts, it's a really profound experience. It builds this incredible bridge between the ancient victims and us today. It is such a powerful reminder of human tragedy. Because when you look at these casts, you're not just looking at a piece of ancient history. You are literally seeing a mother trying to shield her child, or a person covering their face from the intense heat. It captures their exact final moments. It's a stark reminder of the very real, very human cost of this sudden natural disaster.
Section 6. Lessons from the Ashes. Today, Pompeii is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it acts as the ultimate archaeological time capsule. Think about it. At typical ancient sites, we usually only get the big stuff, right? The grand monuments, the massive stone temples, the colosseums, the things built to survive for centuries. But because that volcanic ash sealed Pompeii so incredibly fast, we got everything else. Ordinary homes, everyday hand tools, wooden furniture, pieces of pottery, loose change, even local businesses, perfectly intact. It gives historians this completely unprecedented, extraordinary window into the mundane daily life, the food, the culture, and the economy of the everyday Roman world. Not to mention, it gave modern scientists a massive leap forward in understanding the sheer destructive mechanics of active volcanoes. So to wrap up this explainer, I think the perfectly preserved streets of Pompeii serve as this incredible reminder of two things: the immense, unstoppable power of nature, and the incredibly fragile legacy of our own daily routines. It really makes you think. If a disaster were to freeze your city today, perfectly preserving your home, your workplace, your coffee cups, your laptop, what exactly would future archaeologists 1,700 years from now learn about us? Thanks for hanging out with me for this one. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.